Welcome to the Get Published podcast, sponsored by Brodie Consulting Group. To get more information about our coaching, publishing, executive ghostwriting, and podcast production services, go to getpublishedpodcast.com. Hello, I am Paul Brodie, and thank you for joining us for another episode of the Get Published podcast, where we help authors get published with a proven system that works. Today, we're being joined by Jason Alviene, author of Discover Your Pull, which is going to come out in early 2020. Jason, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. This has been a wonderful experience so far.
How did I do with the pronunciation of the last name?
I think you said Alviene instead of Alviene.
Alviene. I knew I was close on there. I told you I was going to butcher it up. I always joke around saying like the Steve Harvey of podcasters because I have my notes and I was like, I think I might have messed that up just a smidge. So my apologies on that.
It wouldn't be the first.
Well, Jason, we're thrilled to have you. Are you ready to get started with our questions?
Sure.
All right, Jason. Question number 1. What is the one piece of advice that you would give to a first-time author who is currently writing their book?
The first piece of advice, you need to be able to set aside time that is structured towards your writing. I like to do 20 minutes at a time where you just shut everything off, set an alarm, go into your writing mode for 20 minutes, and only focus on the one task. If it's writing and being creative, just write. Don't worry about punctuation at that point. If it's editing, then go through the process of reading it, changing it, making it sound better. But I think if you can focus on 20 minutes at a time, it allows for you to just kind of allow the mind to focus in, knowing that there's an end process, but you don't get distracted by text messages or movies or kids or other things that are out there.
And what do you feel is the hardest part about getting published?
The hardest part about getting published is that not knowing who to speak to or where to go. It's there's just so many things out there where people can do self-publishing or going to a publisher. I think in order to be able to get out there, you have to be open and you have to speak about what you're writing about so people will understand and want to introduce you to the right people in the field.
Well, let's talk about marketing. So please share a marketing strategy that you are planning to use in your book launch that you feel is going to work well.
For me, I find that being able to get out in groups of people and speak about topics that my book is going to cover will help. So setting up free lectures within communities around the area over various topics through the book. And even if they're 15 to 20 minutes, just to be able to engage in the public out there. And during these talks and lectures, you can have somebody that's going to record it for you and put it up on Facebook and social media and YouTube, and just be able to hopefully share it and get the idea out there and get it into everyone's head.
Well, speaking of books, I'd like to know, what is your favorite book and what was the number one thing that you learned from it?
Well, as of right now, a book that I've gone through quite a few times is Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss. His is a negotiation book, but the main thing I got out of it that relates to what my book is about is the empathy. He talked about tactical empathy, but it's about emotions and being able to work into somebody else's emotion, including your own, to be able to make the right choices and the right decisions.
And for a final question, what is your favorite quote and why?
My favorite quote, what other people think of you is none of your business. It's really, the quote brings to me about the fear that people have out there of what others think about them before they make a decision to do something. And I think it holds a lot of people back from being as creative as they could be, or learning new things, or bringing new opportunities to humanity. So just being able to not worry about what somebody else thinks, knowing you have no control over that, and just going for what you want to do to be able to help everybody else out.
Well, Jason, I want to thank you for being a guest on the show. What is the best way for people to find you online?
Online, my website, drjasonalviene.com. So that's just drjasonalviene.com. If my spelling is hard to get a hold of, my office, Totality Chiropractic in Boca Raton, will also have my name on there, and that'll be another way you can reach me.
Well, Jason, thank you once again for being on the show, and I wish you all the best in your author journey ahead.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks again for joining us today. To learn more about how you can be featured in our brand new Get Published business book, go to getpublishedpodcast.com.